Okay, literally it's been a year since this came out in theaters, and on DVD, and it's been a year since I've done my DVD review as well as my discussion and my thoughts on the Amazing Spider-Man 2 as far as the casting choices went. And now today we've gotten the trailer, and yes, I've been keeping track with it. For the past 4 days, it's been leaving countdown on Facebook. It's like 4 days to go, three. I'm just like, stop leaving me suspenseful. I just want to see the trailer and figure out what happens. And a couple of you, I know a couple of you have asked me like, what happened to the final days of 2013 series? I'm just like, and I thought I'm just like, it would just be too much because I'd always come home and I'm always tired, and it's not the fact that I'm tired. It's just that I'm I just get exhausted from school because finals is coming up, and I don't want to let that get in the way of a series. So I just thought, you know what, let me just do normal YouTube videos like I normally do. And today, as you can tell by the title, as you can tell by the thumbnail, the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer review. And I mean, hey, this thing when it first came out was epic as hell. I mean, granted, we don't know how the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is going to turn out yet because it's just a trailer. But judging by what I've seen, you'll know. So, this and me are going to do our review. Well, actually, no, not the thing. So I'll put this right over here on the side. And let us get to the Amazing Spider-Man 2. So, I just got done watching it, okay? And I have to say, I mean, it was a pretty blown trailer, because I thought, how are they going to do this? Like, the first one was pretty good. And I'm sitting here going, like, how, I've been keeping track with the casting choices, as far as, and, as far as the updates go, as far as Rhino win, as far as Electro win, as far as Goblin. I mean, I'm not mad. I'm just sitting here going, like, what is this? Because Rhino made sense. Electro made, I was like, wait a minute. There's a guy on the glider. Exactly who is he? Now, my thing is, okay, maybe he's just a test dummy, but then I thought, I'm like, wait, no. If you're a test dummy, then why are you in the poster? So I thought to myself, maybe it's the Hobgoblin. Maybe it's Green Goblin. It could be one of the two. Because Mark Webb has stated, as far as I know, that Electro is going to be the main villain. There are going to be two minor villains in the film. Rhino was one of them. And now comes what appears to be the Green Goblin. And he said there are two minor villains. Rhino was one of them. And I'm going to guess this person on the glider, whether he's Green Goblin or Hobgoblin, they're the minor villains. But getting into the trailer, when Peter kind of reflects back on his life and kind of just seeing, the choices he's made and stuff, and how he's probably going to face, dangerous enemies and stuff. The trailer opened pretty big. You see Spider-Man, he's rolling down, he's like, yeah, I'm a badass, and then comes the shots of him visiting Uncle Ben's grave, which was good. I mean, they did it in the original trilogy too, but I like the fact that they incorporated that in, because it shows how much of a connection Ben Parker and Peter Parker have. Not that they haven't had any connection in the Force Room, but you're kind of getting that sense of feeling shit, Peter feels bad for what happened to Ben, and his uncle. But it's not just that though. And then we're kind of seeing that he's late on his date with Gwen Stacy, which she kind of knows the fact why he's late, because he's Spider-Man. He's like, wait. He's like, yeah, I got stuck in traffic, and she's like, did you getting stuck in traffic mean that you were getting shot with bullets? And it's like, yeah, I mean, god dang, the chemistry is still spot on. Even after the Amazing Spider-Man came, because I was thinking, okay, they're gonna have to take the chemistry further and not make it seem like, oh, it's just a repeat of film one. It's still fresh and consistent. I mean, I'm just mind blown by what happened. We're seeing shots of Aunt May and Peter, and she kind of brings up the whole remember the whole secrets thing that Aunt May brought up in movie one? That's kind of being brought up now. Yeah, remember when I told you that the secrets have a cost? Well, and then we cut to the scene in the laboratory, and Peter's looking down. It's like a secret lab, so it's like underground. and Peter's going through it, and he finds a little message from his dad, and his dad's leaving a message about about the stuff that's going on in Oscorp and all the stuff, and also in between what I was talking about, comes in Harry Osborn now. Dane DeHaan, the guy who plays Harry. I mean, judging by what he's done in the trailer, I think he's pretty good. He's a pretty good choice for Harry Osborn. Now, when I saw the images, at first I thought, that's Harry? He looks a little geeky. But hearing his voice in the trailer and hearing like seeing that character of Harry come back in this reboot, oh man, I mean, he's running Oscorp. And I'm sitting here going like, what? And see, because when Harry first shows up, he's like Peter's like Harry Osborn. Peter Parker, I'm like, wait a minute, are you two best friends? Because I clearly remember in the comics, as far as Ultimate goes, Ultimate and Amazing. I mean, it's been a while since I've read both of them, but as far as I remember, in Ultimate and in Amazing, Peter Parker and Harry Osborn were best friends. I mean, in the Amazing, they were roommates, but since this is Ultimate, you know what happened. You know what happened in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, so I'm not gonna say anything that much. But going from there, though, I do feel like maybe, well, because as far as I know, what happened during the updates that were going on with the Amazing Spider-Man 2, they were saying that Harry Osborn and Peter Parker are best friends. He just went away for a year, and then now he's coming back. So it's like, okay, but it also kind of seems like Harry's like essentially the the guy behind it, because that's what it shows like in the trailer. Now I could be wrong when the movie comes out. I could be wrong, but that's just something that came in mind. I'm like, hold on. So is Harry is he going to be the Goblin? Is my thing. Is Harry going to be the Goblin? Because I'm just kind of lost about that. That's one thing that's keeping me lost, and I'm just like, okay. I mean, it's good that this trailer is leaving me questions, because it's gonna give me time to think like, okay, so exactly what's gonna happen, and all of us know there's gonna be a second trailer. We all know there's going to be a second trailer. So until that comes out, we'll have to figure it out then. But I'm more interested in the whole Harry Osborn thing, because it is gonna be really different from the original trilogy. I know that much, but I just hope like his character is gonna be done justice. I'm not saying it wasn't done justice in the original trilogy. Aside from 3. Aside from 3. Oh god, don't even get me started with that. I mean, but let's keep this thing in mind though. And I just started, but let's keep this in mind. The trailer was pretty epic. My big concern is the whole I'm gonna to me when it's gonna come to the film, it's going to be more so Harry and Peter. I want to see them two interacting, because in the comics they're best friends. It could be different for film purposes, and I can understand why. Because I mean, I do know some stuff about filmmaking, so maybe it was a creative decision, kind of like when they got rid of Mary Jane in the film. Because I know Mary Jane was supposed to be in here. I know she was supposed to be in the film, but Mark Webb said that it was a creative decision to kind of focus on the Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy relationship. So I can buy that, but that's one thing I'm just really curious about. I'm like, all right, so how is that going to play out in the film? So seeing how the trailer played out, it seems like, okay, they're like, Harry's the big bad, and well, I spend most of my time on that, but let's jump to the second thing, and that's Norman Osborn. Okay, so Harry, okay, yeah, and this will continue on with Harry's stuff, but Harry talks to Norman, and Norman's like, sacrifices must be made. If you remember in the Spectacular Spider-Man TV show, that's actually no. No. What am I talking about? That's from the '90s show. With Fisk, when he was like, sacrifices must be made, and he doesn't say that in particular, but Norman's sick. Okay, like this guy looks like he was on his deathbed, and he doesn't look like he's gonna make it. He really doesn't look like he's gonna make it. So when this part comes up, Norman just says one line. It's like, not everybody deserves a happy ending, and I'm just like, Norman. Norman Osborn. The freaking Green Goblin. Now, granted, we don't know if he's going to become the Green Goblin in the film. We don't. Not yet, anyway. But I'm really curious of seeing where that's going to go. Now, my big thing, I'm going to guess one thing, though. Something's going to happen in the film, and Norman gets out of his illness, and he becomes the Goblin. That's the only prediction I can come up with, as far as Norman becomes the Goblin. That's the only thing I'm pretty sure there's a ton of reasons that people can come up with, but I feel like Norman will get cured, and he'll become the Goblin. That's what I feel. So, that's my whole part on Harry's point of view. Let's get to the villains. You see Electro, Ultimate Electro, because he doesn't have that yellow star on his face with the green jumpsuit. I always hated that. I always hated that Electro, because I was sitting there going like, come on, Marvel, you could have come up with something better. Like, Electro looked like he looked like a clown in the comics. Like, literally, I was sitting there going like, this guy looks like a clown. He doesn't look threatening. And then comes Spectacular Spider-Man, which the animated series. I did my review on that, by the way, a while back. You guys know that, but Electro in Spectacular Spider-Man, I thought, oh wow, like iconic, very iconic character. I didn't say I hate Electro. I just hated his costume design. I just didn't think he was that menacing. He was a menacing villain. Don't get me wrong, but his costume just made him look ridiculous in the Amazing Universe. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm glad that they went with the Ultimate route. And funny note, someone commented on Electro, okay, and they said it looks like Alex Mercer with the hood on. And I'm just sitting there going like, oh god, like you think about it for a minute. You gotta give yourself a time of thought about this, because it's like, okay, he kind of reminds me of Alex Mercer, but he's the Electro from the Ultimate. And the reason why I think Ultimate is because in Ultimate, he was blue. And in the movie, he's blue. Now, granted, in the Ultimate Universe, he doesn't have any clothes on. Just saying. He doesn't have any clothes. But you can't tell it's his body because he's completely golden blue. Not golden blue, but he's glowing blue. So it's like, you can't tell exactly if it's his body or if it's the suit. Wow. So, getting to that aspect, I like what they did with Electro, and one line that Jamie Foxx said as Electro, which really got to me, was the part where he says, "I will show the world what it feels like to be in pain. A world without regret." So, okay, or more so like a world without a crisis. It was something along those lines. I mean, I can't remember too much about what happened, but he definitely he brings up like this whole it's a speech that he thinks that can change the world, and he also brings up like a world without Spider-Man. It's almost like he wants to blame the world for what happened to him. So that's a pretty good speech from Electro. It makes him sound menacing. We didn't see Dr. Connors in the trailer. Now, they've casted him in the movie, I know that much. So Connors will make an appearance. As far as what role he'll play, we still don't know about that yet. Maybe his role, the fact that he survives at the end of the first film, is a good sign. Because I'm hoping the role he plays is humongous. I mean, it can be a small role, but it can be a humongous role too. Like, if you know what I mean. I mean, think of... I can't think of anybody at the moment. But, like, think of Aunt May. Like, she had a small role in the first film, but it was still a pretty big role. If you know what I mean. Like, character-wise, she didn't have that. I mean, if you look at it from a screen time standpoint, she didn't have that much. But character-wise, escalated. That's all I'm going to say. So, you get to Electro's part. Electro looks menacing. You do have a couple fight sequences of Peter and Electro, which looks epic. Enough said and done. And we do see small snippets of Rhino. We don't see his actual full appearance, but we see like small snippets of like his hand, a close-up shot, like a front view of his horn, and that's pretty much it. So I can't say much about Rhino yet. Until we get more on this, that'll be, and this is a pretty long discussion for a trailer review, but I just thought I wanted to give my full opinions, guys. So, yeah, overall, the trailer, just as the movie title, it's amazing. Looking forward to it. I was having a few doubts about, like, alright, is this going to be as good as the first one? And Mark Webb, for some reason, again, he proved me wrong. Okay, now, then again, this is a trailer. And remember what I'm saying. Remember what I've said before. Trailers can be deceiving. Always something you guys have to keep in mind about. Like, okay, a trailer can make a movie look really good, but what about the overall result? The movie itself is where we have to decide, okay, was it as good as one? So, just keep that in mind. We still have until May, so we still got about like 5 months to go. And within that 5-month time frame, I'm gonna guess we're going to get another trailer. It's not maybe 3, because normally there's the worldwide premiere trailer, there's a second trailer, and then there's the final trailer. So there's normally 3, but in that time frame, we're gonna get 2 more trailers. And as far as more updates on The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I'll keep you guys updated and consistent on what goes on with The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So, comment below, let me know what you guys think about the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer. Were you satisfied? Were you not satisfied? Any particular parts about the trailer that you didn't like? Or, what was your favorite part about the trailer? That's one thing I do really want to know. What were your guys' opinions on The Amazing Spider-Man 2? And aside from that, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Sharav. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more trailer reviews, more movie reviews, etc. You guys know the drill at this point. And I'll see you guys again. Catch you later, guys.